looks as if time to get this party started. All right. Turning on the apparatuses. Getting everything going. You guys know the drill by this time. Nice, easy gear. Have your water bottle and your towel and your fan ready. Tonight you might need that fan since it's a little warmer outside than it has been for us. So as you all know, this is our final session for this season. It's kind of, as I've always said, it's bittersweet in a way. It's like something to look forward to every week on a Wednesday night. But now, hopefully, you have other options on a Wednesday night. Get out and ride your bike outside. So I've been trying to pay attention to the time, and it seems as if it's around 6:50 to 7 o'clock when you pretty much should be home from a ride. I think we've talked about this previously, but when you're riding, I hope you have on a front light and a rear light. If you make both of those blinking, that definitely makes you more visible to drivers, especially the front one when it comes to people that are coming out of side streets. They might look but not see, but that blinking light might catch their eye. So that's really a good piece of equipment to have. If you don't have a Varia, which is a Garmin product, it's a rear light that you can connect to your Garmin or Wahoo or whatever device you're using. The great part about that device is it will blink like a regular light, but it also will give to you information on your computer about cars approaching you from behind. So there's a little screen that appears on your Garmin, and it has a moving vehicle, and it warns you that there's a car coming up from behind you. And that's, in my opinion, one of the best devices that was ever made for cyclists to keep us safe. One thing you have to keep reminding yourself, if it goes awry or that you don't want to become too complacent about cars from behind. You still need to look around, be aware of your surroundings, but at least this is now giving you an option to know that there's a car back there. If you're going faster than the car, it may not recognize that car, but that's not normally likely. If you have somebody riding behind you, the great part is it will still work. It won't pick up that person because normally they're going the same speed as you. It will pick up that car or truck or motorcycle that's going faster. So the cool thing is if there's two of you and there's another rider and no cars, and that rider starts approaching you at a speed faster than you, it will pick them up as if they are, because they are a moving vehicle that's faster than you. So that's a great device. If you don't have one, it is a bit of an investment, but it is really, really worth that investment. So consider that if you don't have one. So what do I do typically on this last night is normally I try to take some of the efforts that we've done along the way and kind of do a little culmination of all these different efforts, cadence, gearing, low cadence efforts, hard gearing, whatever it might be. So that's exactly what we're going to do here tonight. So to get us started, We're gonna do our 5-minute warm up just to get us going a little bit faster, get the blood flow going, get the heart pumping. So this is just gonna be a small ring, big ring kind of situation. So you're gonna start in your small ring and you're 19. So remember, if you're 25 at the top, 25, 23, 21, 19. So about 4 gears down from where you are right now. Go ahead and go there. What we want to do, give me the highest cadence you got. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Get started. We're going to stay seated here for 30 seconds. Then we're going to just shift to our big ring and stand for 30. So it'll be seated 30, standing 30. For the total 5, to get us going, get our heart rate going. Up to your big ring, standing up. Quick transition. Remember, right over hips, over the ankles. When you sit down, 3, 2, 1, back down to your small ring. Pick up that cadence. If you're at like 90-ish, that's good. Where we want you to be. Back up to that big ring. Standing up. Push the legs a little bit. Check your form. Sitting back down. Small ring. Bringing that cadence back up. Holding it high. Keep the legs moving. Try not to let that cadence drop. Up to the big ring. Standing up. I don't know about you, Lillian, but I can feel our strength workout for Monday. We did some legs. Three minutes down. Sitting down, back to that small ring. Bring that cadence up. If your cadence meter is not working, you can always follow my legs. Right now I'm at 93. Up to the big ring. Standing up. You're starting to sweat. That's what we want to have happen. Last minute, sitting down, back to that small ring. I like seeing the fast legs. You got one more time to stand. Find that big ring. Let's go. After this, you should be really ready. Do it yourself, keeping your back flat and your hips high. 3, 2, down to that small ring. Nice, easy gear. Take a drink. All right. So early in the year, we did a workout called the 3-peat. And what it was, if you remember, we did all these efforts that were 3 1-minute efforts. So this one is going to be exactly that. We're going to do a minute seated with you in a big ring around your 80 cadence. And then you're going to kind of spin it out. Then we're going to do another minute at a different gear, doing some standing and sitting. Then we're going to take a 1-minute easy, and then we're going to move into a cadence ramp. So for this first one, it's 1 minute, 30 seconds of it. We're going to do big ring 21 seated around an 80 cadence. So that's going to be 1 gear easier, actually, than where you just were. And we're going to follow with 30 seconds of small ring 23 at 100 plus. So find your big ring to that 21, so 25, 23, 21. Not too hard of an effort. 80. 80 should be easy to hold. It's not too hard of an effort at all. This is nice, comfortable, reasonable place to be. Shouldn't jack up the heart rate too much. So each of these 30-second efforts, one after the other. Down to your small ring, up 1 gear. Get your cadence to 100. Let's go. If you can get higher than 100, then go to that. Hold it steady. Try not to bounce. Control it with your core. Keep the legs going fast. You're going to go to your big ring. You're in your 23, 21, 1 gear harder, 2, 3 gears harder. Stand it up. Kind of a nice gear. Sitting down. Keep this going. And stand it up. Ten seconds up. 10 seconds down. Have a seat. And up. And down. Give me 2 harder gears. 2. Hold whatever cadence you can for 1 final minute. Maybe around 60, maybe 50. Remember, use your legs. The body shouldn't be doing this. Core is tight. Glutes and hamstrings are engaged. Feet nice and light. Don't even feel that pedal under your shoe. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear. 1 minute easy. All right. Then we did a workout where it was a cadence ramp. So we started at 1 gear, kept the cadence at a certain level, slowly moved down the gears. And of course, what does that do? Changes your cadence. So our first gear is going to be in the small ring 23. We're going to hold 100 cadence for 1 minute. Then each minute, the gear gets harder and the cadence gets lower. So nice concentration here, nice control. So find that 23. It's maybe only 1 gear down. Let's hit 100. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 100. Holding this steady. So I was out last night, and it was actually a little colder than I thought it was going to be. And the wind was just kicking. My goal last night was to work some harder gears in places where I might have used an easier gear. Just to build a little strength, work the quads a little bit more, work the glutes a little bit more. And remember, that's just a workout. That's not something I would do on a long-term ride. Wouldn't do that on a 50-miler, that's for sure. All right, you're going to shift down 2 harder gears. Try to hold 90. If you need one easier, you may go there. If you're getting higher than 90, try not to go any higher than 95. Just keep the legs spinning nicely. It's going to get harder as we go. That's what we want. And what does that resemble? What may typically happen when you go on a ride? The longer you ride, the harder it might get. Just because you don't have the endurance or the duration. You haven't ridden that long in a while, which is okay. You'll build those miles. Give yourself 1 or 2 harder gears. We're looking for 80. Try to get as close to 80 as you can. Holding this for a minute. I'm right at 82. Our last gear is going to have us down to 50. Might get a little cross chain on that last one. That's okay. No need to worry. Ten more seconds. Then we're going to move to 70. Give me 1 or 2 harder gears. 70. I was getting up to 76. That meant I needed a harder gear. Relax the upper body. Little bend in the elbows. Even pedal stroke. Listen for clues to how you're pedaling with the sound of your bike. One more gear change. Down to your 13. 1 minute. Hold whatever cadence you can hold here. Be it 50, 60. I'm going to go to one harder gear just so I can get a little lower cadence. Because you're in your small ring, you might need a little bit more gear. So that in itself is kind of a representation of maybe how a ride goes for you. You start off nice and fresh, and then, bam, the legs start to die. If you pedal like this for the first 30 minutes, don't say I didn't tell you. So 3, 2, 1, bring it back up to the easiest gear. Take a drink. So if you ride in too hard of a gear, the legs will definitely give up at some point. That is a definite. Your heart will beat forever till that final day, unfortunately. But if you work the legs too hard, the muscles are going to be like, nope, sorry, not working anymore. The heart, on the other hand, it's going to work for you. It's going to keep beating. All right. Next, we got another set of 1 minute efforts. They look a little similar. You're going to do 1 minute, small ring 15 or 17, around 70 or 80. And then 1 minute at the 23, and you're going to keep it at 90 plus. So this one's going to go. The easy should be a little easy, but I still want your cadence to be up there, close to 90. So find that small ring around your 15. So remember, almost right in the middle of your cassette. So look back, see that middle. 3, 2, 1. We're looking for 70 to 80. I know you guys can hold 80. If you want to give yourself a little harder gear, if you're holding 80, it may be 85. Then give yourself a little harder gear to make yourself work a little harder. Remember what gear you're in, because you're going to go right back to that. This is a 9 minute effort. Getting a little longer with each effort we do here. Some people might like this 80. Working the muscles. Think about your back being flat. 3, 2, all the way back up to your 23. Nice high cadence. If you can hit 90 plus, if you're hitting 100, that's even better. Remember what gear you came from, because we want to go right back to that one. It was nice last night, actually. I think I saw about 4 or 5 other cyclists. Everybody itching to get out. which was a good thing. And of course, it was interesting watching different clothing options. Some people in shorts, some people bundled up. The one thing I didn't see was anybody with their arms showing. All right, back down to that 15. Right to that cadence. 70 to 80. Concentrate. On that cadence, see if you can hold it precisely at the number that you want. It's very hard to do because that means you have to be pedaling evenly with every pedal stroke. Keep the legs moving. It shouldn't feel super hard. Just a little on the edge. Three, two, right back up to that 23. Bring that cadence up high. Spin it out. So keep this in mind. If you're on a ride, and maybe you're by yourself, and you've been pushing the pace for a little while, and you're like, I need just a break from this. Just allow yourself to get in an easier gear. Spin the legs until you feel them ready to do the next effort. That's why we put rest periods in these workouts, so you can get through them. Because think about it, when you're outside, you can coast on a downhill. Can't do that here. All right, back to that gear. Round your 15, 70 to 80. Let's go. Dial it in. 4 minutes in. Total of 9. I know some people like that kind of information. Other people don't like that kind of information. I'd rather just ride along. And wherever the ride takes me, it takes me. All right, you might be starting to feel this a little bit. Start convincing yourself you can get through this effort. 3, 2, just in time. Bring the leg speed up. So our mind is really powerful when it comes to helping us through the tough times. So a friend of ours, very susceptible to cramping. And when he would start having them come on, I would say, tell the cramps, go away. You are not invited here. Believe it or not, sometimes mind over matter can work. But cramping also can have other reasons why that's happening. Your prehydration, your riding hydration, your nutrients level. Back down to that 15. Here we go. So you hear me preach about hydration all the time. Your daily hydration can affect your weekend hydration. You're planning a 50-mile ride on Saturday. All week long, you should be drinking that adequate amount of water. Even if you don't do anything, Meaning you're not riding. Your body needs that hydration to function. Coming up to 7. 3, 2. Find that easy gear. Last time to spin it out. One more effort here. Next, we're going to put you in the longest effort of the night. Let you kind of kick back. Feel some endurance zone. This minute seems to be going slowly for some reason. It's always crazy to me how some go fast and some you look down and you're like, what? I feel like I've been doing this forever. All right, find that last gear. Here we go. Last minute, 70 to 80. Keep it solid. That nice spin in between really helps. Keeps us going. The sweat's starting to pour. It's going to pour more for the next effort. Three, 2, 1. Easy gear. Spin it out. Take a drink. If you notice, not a lot of recovery in between. We're going to move through a number of efforts. All right, so where are we going now? We're going to do a solid 4-minute effort right in your endurance zone. So that means that you should be able to talk to me comfortably. It shouldn't feel too hard. Your legs shouldn't be burning. You should be right at a comfortable place. The only hard part for maybe some, but I know you guys can solidly do this, is I want you to hold the 90 cadence. That's the sweet spot. So find a gear that you think you like, whatever it might be, 90 cadence, holding it there. Don't cheat yourself out on this one. We're going to keep it nice and steady. If you're getting to 95, maybe give yourself one harder gear. If that feels a little bit too much, then shift back. So it might take you a little while to find that right gear. When you go out next time, when you're riding outside, I want you to find that sweet spot at 90 for you. Now, obviously, the terrain has something to do with it. So if you're riding through the swamp and it's completely flat, it's going to be a different endurance level than if you're riding in Harriman State Park up Seven Lakes Drive. So there's different levels of your endurance zone. You can still climb up Seven Lakes Drive in Harriman Park at your endurance level. You're going to go a little slower, but if you do the right gears, keep the cadence at a manageable level, You can climb at a comfortable pace. So work towards that. Figure out what that is for you. Start to know what it feels like in that endurance pace. Because believe it or not, when you train there, you get a lot of benefit from it. A pro racer that I know, she used to say to me that she does a lot of low-end training. And she gets a lot from it. So that sprinting level doesn't take the body long to get to that. But building a solid foundation is key to making it feel like a nice, good ride outside. So I started making a list of some things to remind you about to do as you start getting outside again. I've mentioned it before. Get your bike tuned up. If you haven't had it done in a while, it really is important. Chains need potentially to be put a new one on. If you're working with mechanical shifting, your cables should be replaced. If you're working with electronic shifting, your batteries may need replaced. Plus, you get all of the bearings lubed and feeling like the wheels are spinning faster and your crank is working the way you want it to. So make sure you get that done, because that is number one on the list. So we're going to do 1 minute now, where I want you to give yourself a little harder gear, 1 or 2. Feel this for a minute, be a little bit harder. Feel a little of that burn start to come in. You might have hit just a little hill on the road. Once you start climbing and you climb more regularly, when you hit a hill, it doesn't seem so hard. You're like, oh yeah, been here, done that before. So find those courses that you can do where you have some hills that challenge you. All right, in 5, I want you to push yourself as hard as you can go in 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Somebody jumped off the front. Don't want to let them go. Hold on to it. Last 5, 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Woo, take a drink. We push that. All right. Next effort. Maybe our last. It's 11 minutes long. We're going to do 4 by 2-minute efforts. Each one different from the other. You get a minute in between. It's going to look similar to the ladder we did earlier, but this one is all in the big ring, and we're going to start with a low cadence and build to a higher cadence. This is always a hard way to go. The body has a hard time adjusting to this. But when you do this, it starts to understand, and it will work with you. All right, so find your big ring all the way down to your 13 or 14. I want you only being about 50 to 55. No higher than 55. And I want you to really take your chest and I want you to push your chest out and up so that your glutes start to get engaged. Feel yourself, keeping those feet light, pulling up on the pedals, not doing this. As soon as you start to do that, then you're not taking the benefit of your cleats along with you. Feel yourself get tall here. Hands on the deck, palms open and nice and relaxed. 1 minute down. 1 more minute to go here. Look down at your feet. See what they're doing. If you're pressing your heels down, then what's going to happen to your upper body? It starts to do the worm. If you point your toes down, I don't know how anybody could do this with their toes pointed down. It's very hard. So you want to be able to use those big muscles to help you through these low cadence efforts. Coming up to our rest. 3, 2, small ring. Gear that keeps you somewhere easy. If you want to go at about 90, that's it. Take a drink if you need it. A bottle an hour. I'm going to drill that into your heads. A bottle an hour. That's what you should be consuming when you go out on a ride. If you don't, and you come to an aid station or a stop, whatever you have in your bottle, drink it while you're stopped. All right, coming up to our next 2-minute effort. Big ring, 15. You can go ahead and go there. Big ring, 15. You're probably going to be around 60 to 65. Keep it steady. It's 2 minutes. So to my list. Order your nutrition and your electrolyte mix. So lots of people are having sales now. Perfect time of the year to start stocking up on what you're going to need for the season. So Randy and I, every day, I'm either like, what'd you order? And he's like, what'd you order? So place those orders. Have a place in your house where you can keep all that in a nice, dry place for especially your drink mix. Be sure to find an electrolyte mix that has all those necessary nutrients. I'm not sponsored by them, but Scratch really has the best. Magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, and the electrolyte. All the things you need. Stay in the game. Coming up to 2 minutes. See, it goes faster when I talk. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear, spin it out, take a drink. Man, this workout is going super fast. All right, you probably guessed where we're going. Next, we're going to go to another easier gear with a cadence of 70 to 75. So from your 15, you're going to go to 2 easier gears. You don't have to go there yet. 2 easier gears. So you can hold that right at the right cadence, right at the right effort level. All right. Find that big ring. Write down. If you need to go to your 15 and shift up to easier, you may do that. We're looking at 70, 75. If you get to 80, then your gear's too easy. I just did that to myself. All right, what's next on my list? You know, I know some of you belong to a bike club. If you don't, consider joining one. But make sure that if you join it, that you actually go do some rides with the club. Don't just pay your fee, say you belong to a club. Go ride a couple of rides. See what it's like to be in a group setting. So typically, my rule of thumb is, if you think you're a B-Star rider, go to the B ride first. Go down a level from where you think you might be. Just in case that group goes faster than what's advertised, which may be the case. So then if you go on that B ride, you're like, oh boy, this is way too slow. Then, next time, give the B-Star ride a try. Clubs are good. It teaches you how to ride in a group. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Spin it out. I can say that probably 95% of the friends that we have are as a result of cycling. Because we've been in a number of different clubs in different parts of the country. And it's interesting how different clubs work in different ways. A club we joined in Virginia, they were like, if you get a flat, too bad for you, we're leaving. So it was more like a race club than anything, because they weren't there to socialize. They were there to ride and ride hard. So depending on what the club is, then it depends on sometimes how the riders are. All right, last one. Back to big ring. You're going to go to your 19. So that's about 3 or 4 gears down. And I want you to try to hold 80 to 85. Nice and solid. Make this last one the best one. You know the deal. This is when it counts here. Right in the last minutes. We're going to finish this one strong. We'll We'll spin out the legs. Another thing for yourself is plan an event or a race or a cycling adventure. It's always nice to have a goal, something to work towards. Do it alone, do it with friends, meet a club there. Take advantage of so many cycling events around us. If you go to bikereg.com, you can find some of those local events. Sometimes if you just put in cycling events on the Northeast, might find a calendar of a club. So that's always a good way to keep yourself motivated. Try to make a plan for yourself for the season. Like, I'm going to try and ride at least 3 days a week. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Top of the cassette. Small ring. Take a drink. Let's spin this out for the last 5 minutes. So when it comes to setting a schedule for yourself, don't make it just about, oh, I'm not going to be able to ride during the week. I'm only going to ride on the weekends. If you can make riding during the week happen, then do your best to get in a couple of rides outside, even if it's in the morning, which can be really nice as it starts to get a little bit lighter in the morning, and or after work. Get yourself, take your bike with you to work and say, okay, after I'm done, I'm going to park in such and such a place and I'm going to do this course. So motivate yourself to get out there and ride. Of course, as always, as I said before, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Keep that as right at the top of your level of things to stay on top of. Have fun on your bike. Don't make every time you get out on your bike like, oh God, I got to go ride. As soon as you put that kind of agenda into your head, that's what it's going to feel like. So find the joy in the ride, even if the little parts hurt. So I always say to myself, when my legs start to burn, I know that that burn means that I'm getting stronger because I'm forcing the legs to do something that they're not ready to do or not willing to do. So keep that as an option. Say to yourself, this burn is a good burn. It's not doing it because it's a bad thing. Cycling as a racer can be suffering a lot of times, but you don't have to suffer all the time if you keep your head right where you want to be. And we got a lot of months to come, a lot of miles to put in. Remember that you're not in the middle of the season right now. You're just starting out. So don't push yourself too hard, too soon, and then you get injured. Keep it nice and moderate. Get yourself back in the game. As the light gets longer, your rides should get longer. So right now you might only be able to get an hour in, then move to an hour and 15, then an hour and 30. If you can get 2 hours in after work, that's awesome. So be realistic. I want to, again, as I did last week, thank everybody for joining me over the winter for these rides. You keep me in shape, along with me helping you to stay in shape. If you have any suggestions for future trainer sessions, if you are interested in doing, if you're local, if you're interested in doing any sessions with me, a one-on-one coaching session, or you're interested in any training plans, don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll be happy to help you out. Get you ready for an event, whatever it might be, maybe a century, maybe triathlon, maybe you're just doing an adventure in China, or whatever it might be. I'll be happy to help you through the process of getting ready. All right, we got just 30 seconds to go, and then we will call it a night. That one went way, way, way faster than I imagined it going. The legs should feel good after this one. And again, you know the drill. Get in your recovery source, finish up your bottle so you get in that hydration so the body can recover. Your recovery will be better if you hydrate properly every day, because it doesn't have to work as hard to recover. All right, guys, that is it. The last session for now. Good deal. Go ride, go have fun.